Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Gale Lewis. I'm a marriage and family therapist and an author of a number of books, 7, 8 books, all on relationships. My latest book is Why Don't You Understand? A Gender Relationship Dictionary. And in fact, it's the world's first dictionary listing words that men and women use differently, which, as you probably have already noticed, there are times in your relationship where you're saying something and somehow you end up in a conflict and you think, how did that happen? We were just talking and suddenly it came into some kind of argument. This dictionary is a way of helping you understand what happens when women use words one way and men understand them very differently. And men use words in one way and women understand them very differently. Do you remember the story about the little boy who liked to take things apart and put them back together again? Like he'd take the toaster or the radio apart and he'd put it back, but there'd always be one or two little things left over afterwards. That is actually part of what goes into why men don't want to talk about relationship problems. Now you're thinking, what does that have to do with anything? The phrase is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And men who are watching this, I know that you were smiling because you know exactly that is the phrase. If it ain't broke, do not fix it. The reason goes back to that story is that there's a, and this isn't always conscious, but there is a sense that if I start talking about a problem, I'll make it worse. And it's much easier to just, if it isn't really serious, just put it aside, don't deal with it yet. This drives women crazy. Because women have a whole different message for them, the internal message. The message for men is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The message for women is, I need to fix problems before they get big. Preventive. I need to make sure that I take care of anything that I see as a small problem so it doesn't get to be a bigger problem. You can see where this can cause a problem, can't you? The woman says, we need to talk, we need to fix this problem, and the man is saying, if we deal with this, it's going to get too big, and then we're going to really have to deal with it. And so I just as soon ignore it. So how do you get around this? Well, one way of getting around it is for both men and women to understand that the man really isn't ignoring, for the woman to understand, the man really isn't ignoring you. And for the woman to understand, and for the man to understand, the woman isn't trying to put your back against the wall and call you, make a problem. So the first thing to do is understand that. The second thing to do is to take out a little piece and let's talk about just a little piece of the problem, so it doesn't become so overwhelming. I have a number of examples in the dictionary that explain what happens when men feel overwhelmed with women being able to bring up so many issues. And you can read more about that in the dictionary, the different parts to that. But here, a solution for the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and preventively, I want to make sure it doesn't get bigger, is to be able to say, let's take a little part of this, let's sit down, let's talk on a specific time for no more than 30, 60 minutes at a time, and see if we can handle this issue. So if you want to get some free excerpts of what's in the dictionary, feel free to go to the website. It's genderdictionary.com. You can get the free excerpts, you can take a look at what's actually some of the items in the dictionary. You can also order the book from there. Again, it's genderdictionary.com.